What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you guys having a great Saturday so far and a good weekend lined up. A little bit unusual today. We do have a bit of a news drop here from Plarium. They are out of the office for the weekend, but occasionally we do get some news drops on the weekend. So let's cover that in this video here. I'm going to break it up into two parts. So the first part here is going to be right here above my head. There's going to be, starting on Monday, a 2x boost on the Immortal Soulstones. So these are going to be the medium ones. We're going to be getting double X chance here to pull 5 and 6 star perfect souls from the Immortal Soulstone. So we're going to be having 24% chance to pull the 5 stars and 12% chance to pull the 6 stars. Now this only affects the 5 and 6 star rank, not the rarity, which is still fixed here. And this event's going to last 96 hours or 4 days. Now this is usually a really strong event. You obviously want to wait for the 2x boost to pull some of these very valuable resources. That's kind of what I was saving this for. However, since we have the power of foresight and some leaked news, we know that in October there's going to be a bunch of guaranteed events for the exclusive Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle champions, namely Leonardo. Leonardo here from the Shadowkin. I did do a showcase and released it recently, so you guys want to check it out. Make sure you guys check that out. But there is going to be a guaranteed event for Leonardo, as well as a guaranteed deck of fate for Raphael. I do have Raphael. I pulled him luckily from a shard, so I'm not super gung-ho about going for a second one. But Leonardo, I basically will turn over my account just to get this guy as well as his soul. He's amazing, and he would be my last turtle. But because we have this kind of foresight into October, we know that there's going to be some kind of guarantee events for these champions. And you know what? Soul Stones are one of those things that really make a lot of those events a lot more manageable. Especially when you have a larger amount like the way I have saved these for many months. And you know what? I probably will consider saving them further so I can participate and complete the future October guaranteed champion events a little bit easier. Now with that being said, there's actually a sweetener here, so there's a part 2 to the news that's happening, which is right here. So as well as the 2x boost to the Immortal Soulstones, they are launching at the same time on Monday. There's going to be a deck of fate, and then you're going to be picking up pizza points. There's going to be relic materials and other valuable goodies. And the way you're going to get points in this deck of fate: summon soulstones, souls from soulstones, and upgrading champions. So training event. Now the way these event structures, what they usually look like is one of the requirements give you substantially better value, and it's usually going to be the more expensive option, which is going to be the Soulstone. So Soulstone's probably going to give you some pretty good value for your pulls because they want you to pull your Soulstones, and of course they're more valuable, they cost more money, etc., but you'll get more points for them. So what are you going to get in this deck of fate? You're looking at 300 rare Sun Lilies, so that's going to be 3 rare relic crafts. You're going to get 2 epic relic crafts, and you're going to get 1.5 legendary relic crafts. Not even 2, not even, it's just kind of weird. 1.5 relic crafts. And it looks like there's going to be mythical relic materials in the fate chest. So these are the chests that you get when you land 3 of the same rarity chests in a row. So if you basically flip 3 in a row, you're going to get a bonus chest. And they said that the mythical relic material will be in those chests. I would not hold my breath. I would not hold my breath for these fate chests. Now, the other thing that's going to happen is that there's going to be 100 total Pizza Titan points in this deck of fate as well. So yeah, there's a lot going on here. And we will also be able to pin rarities. So if you can pin rarities, this is basically Plarium adding a sweetener to the deck of fate. It makes it a little bit easier to get the fate chests, especially the higher rarity fate chest, because as soon as you pick up the epic chest, you can pin it, and then you can just dig for the other 2 epic chests, and then you're gonna get a fate chest out of that. So the pin feature does give you a little bit more value from deck of fates. Now there's a lot of stuff going on. Like I said, you got relic materials, you got Titan points in here as well. So it's going to be, it's going to be a hard event to skip, I think, for most people, especially with the 2x Immortal Soulstone boost. happening as well. So you're gonna get value from those soul stones that you're pulling, etc., etc. Now, I did go digging through some of my old notes here on the old deck of fates that have occurred in the past. And from what I can see, the old deck of fates generally give a value of about 600, 700 points per Immortal Soulstone. And the big Soulstone could be between 3,000 and 5,000. So that just gives you kind of a rough idea on how much points you, or how many stones you need to finish off the deck of fate. So let's use 600 points as an example. You need 40,000 points to finish off the deck of fate. So 40,000 points divided by 600, and that's going to take you 67 Immortal Soul Stones to finish off the deck of fate. Obviously, there's training involved, so you can like mix in some training to make it a little bit easier. So yeah, you don't need to pull all Soul Stones to finish off the deck. The problem is, if you want to do this strictly by upgrading champions, it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot of resources. So it's basically, yeah, it's a must pull soul stones if you want to finish off the deck without spending a boatload of resources. We can do more thorough breakdown once we have the requirements and point breakdown when the deck opens on Monday. But like I said, guys, a 2x boost on Immortal Soul Stones. I don't know. I'm really tempted. I've been saving these for a while now. What feels like probably 3 months, but it's probably more like 2 months maybe. I don't recall. I did skip a couple events and I held on to my Immortal Soul Stones. Yeah, this is a really strong opportunity to get some high level souls, because the odds of you getting a 5 or 6 star is actually pretty high. You're going to 24% and 12%. So that's giving you a 36 overall percent of pulling a 5 or 6 star soul. So 36% to pull a 5 or 6 star soul. And also, you know, we have to pull these to get mythical souls. So obviously, if I wanted to get a soul from my Empress, for example, pulling stones is the best way to do it. And this is, you know, it's tough. It's kind of tough to kind of just ignore this event. And then they're throwing in the deck of fate like sweetener. I mean, it's not even a sweetener. Some people might even consider it a must do, considering that there's Titan points in it. Luckily, there's only 100 Titan points, so technically you could full skip this event and still be okay for Donatello's 5-star soul. So if you guys didn't know, you guys can skip 250 points in total for Donatello's 5-star soul. So don't be, you know, don't jump the gun and jump into this deck of fate right away. Yeah, you're allowed to skip 250 points. And luckily, the deck of fate only has 100 involved. So yeah, you can totally full skip and just chill, assuming that you've done most of the events or all of the events up until this point. Personally speaking, like I said, as I recommended in my initial video for a Titan event, I don't recommend going for the 5-star unless you have very specific use for a 5-star Donatello. That could be something like if he's your main speed booster, for example, in Arena. 5-star soul for a banner could be worthwhile. Otherwise, if you're just using it for general use, like a 3-star is great. I recommend this relic. Is actually pretty decent as well, so it's probably good just to pick it up if you don't have one already. Also, a nice thing is we do have a medium Immortal Soulstone here as well, so if you manage to get that, you can throw that into the deck of fate if you wanted to, so for a little bit extra points, a little extra value there. But yeah, personally speaking, I'm a little bit torn. I got a bunch of these middle ones, and I've already got Raphael on this account. Like, I'm kind of thinking, you know, it might be time for me to throw these in. And then I'm really thinking Leonardo will be shards. So he's going to be shard related plus a dungeon energy requirement. So either training or dungeon diving. I'm okay for energy. It's just, you know, it's either shards or stones. If it's stones plus energy, then I'm going to be kicking myself for Leonardo, because we know that event is going to be very, very massive, because it's probably going to have his 5-star soul in it as well. So you're going to need a boatload of resources to pick both up. And I highly recommend, obviously, his soul as a damage dealer is very important. Yeah. Also, if you guys are pulling, don't be pulling your mythical, don't be pulling your primal shards right now, because there's no boost right now for primal shards. You're not getting a, there is a boost, sorry, but there's no boost for mythical champions. And this is what, you know, people call fake 2x primal. And yeah, I think it's just mainly a cash grab against people that are not paying attention, not reading the fine print. definitely don't pull your primal shards for this event. With that all being said, I think most likely I'll probably end up skipping this event, just so I have enough resources to handle any situation for October. Obviously, getting the boosted rates is a huge benefit, and pulling soul stones is obviously going to be massive as well. And picking up the 5 and 6 stars are going to be huge. But at the end of the day, the exclusive champion is a little bit more important to me at this point, because you can always build souls. Souls can always come. So if people ask me what is more important, the champion or the soul, the champion is more important, because especially in a guaranteed situation, in a guaranteed event, the champion is always more important, because you're never guaranteed to get that champion again. Whereas the soul, you can always build up over time. Yes, it could take a long time. In the instance of like my Marius, it took almost like a year. Yes, it can take a long time, but if you have the champion, then you have it. There's no guarantee you'll ever get that champion, so I always recommend getting the champion. And in this case, an exclusive champion from a collab that's actually a really good champion, like for example Leonardo, hard to pass up, and it's hard to plan, to even risk not even picking them up. So anyways, that's probably going to be my plan here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what you guys are thinking here. Do you guys think this is like Omega bait? Will you guys be able to resist? Will you guys be pulling? Will you guys be planning for the October guaranteed events as well? Keep in mind that there's probably going to be a fusion at the end of September, so there's probably going to be some fusion news coming next week as well. So a lot of craziness happening, as I've highlighted in earlier videos. Hopefully you guys are prepared. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your plans. Have a great weekend. Thank you guys for watching until the end. Appreciate your time, and I'll see you guys in the next video.